Okay, I brought the Garrett Ace 300i to the beach today. I've given it a go on the dry sand, just at the top. Found a variety of pool tabs and what have you, standard sort of beach finds. And now I thought I'd bring it down onto the wet sand. Now, in the literature it says that it's suitable for dry sand, but not suitable for wet sand. So I've just ventured down, just up from the dry sand up over there, come down to the wet sand, and it seems very remarkably stable, considering there's the occasional false signal. Now I know each beach varies and there's different amounts of mineralisation and stuff on the beach, but so far I've been quite impressed. So I've buried this pound coin in the wet sand. That's my pinpointer. It is actually just level with the label, or the barcode label on my macro pointer. It's a pound coin. So I'm just I'm currently in zero discrimination mode. I've been searching on jewellery mode actually because it's much more quieter. So it's picking that up. Yeah, and I'm going to bury it. I'm still picking that up. Perhaps another inch or two above the ground. Well, that's quite impressive for a machine that they say really can't be used on wet sand. So I'm quite impressed with that. Okay, so that's quite impressed with that. No, I wouldn't use it as a beach detector all the time if I was just searching wet sand. But for occasional use when you're on holiday, it was certainly usable in the wet sand. It will give occasional false signal. You need to turn the sensitivity down a tad, but no, I'm quite impressed with that. In the dry sand, there's not a problem at all. Seems to work just fine, and all I've found so far is pool tabs. I'm going to give it a go in a minute and see what else I can find. The beach has been quite heavily searched over the summer and the winter because it's right next to a holiday park. Pickings are a bit light at the moment, just lots of foil and pool tabs, but I'm going to give it a go. Quite impressed. Okay, still in the wet sand. I've just had a little signal. The end of a zip. That's quite an impressive little find. That's a small find anyway, but for wet sand, okay, not the greatest depth, a couple of inches down, but for a machine that's not supposed to be able to be used in the wet sand, that's pretty good going. Okay, got another little signal here, reading 59, 60, 61, the odd foil. Okay, I'm going to dig this out and see what we got. Okay, I've just scraped the surface with the pinpointer, and I don't know what it is. It's some sort of clip. I don't know, it's a hair clip or some sort of clip. Looks like it's made of brass. Need to clean it up. It's well corroded. Okay, literally just below the surface. Realistically, any detector would have found that. But anyway, it's a find. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, I've just moved further down the beach towards the sea. The sand's getting wetter. I've had to turn the sensitivity down to 4 bars. But I've just found this tiny see how thin it is. A little piece of, so it looks like gold foil. I guess it's aluminium or don't know what metal it is, but it's found that in the wet sand. Okay, not at any great depth, but still quite impressed with that. Okay, I'm going to try it on the really wet sand in a minute. I think that is going to be too much for it, but I'll give it a go. Still finding little finds, although they're all junk. But I'll keep going. Okay, now in the really wet sand. As long as I keep the coil above the surface, it's relatively stable. Actually got a piece of iron there. Get the occasional false signal. If it touches the surface, as you can see, it falses, but just keeping it normal search distance above the surface seems to be just fine. Oh well, keep going. Okay, I've moved further up the beach now. As you got closer to the sea, it became more and more unstable, so that is the limit. To be fair, I would say, I know this is a contradiction, but if you stick to the dry wet sand, you're not going to go far wrong. It will cope with slightly wetter sand, but once you get to the sort of super saturated sand at the near the shore, the actual low tide line, it's unusable really. I've just got nice little signal here, repeatable both ways, around 78-80. So I'm going to dig this now and see what we've got, and I'll show you in a second. Right, it's one of the million, billion, trillion small pieces of aluminium that seem to be on every beach. Sorry, I'm having job focus here. I'm just filming this on my phone. There you go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so just a tiny sliver of aluminium. Okay, it's still a find, and I'll keep going. Okay, just had my first coin from the dry sand, 2p a piece. Doesn't look as though it's been in there very long. Sorry about my thumb there. I'm using my phone, so it's a bit of a Heath Robinson video, this one, so do apologise. Yeah, so at least it's a coin. Okay, keep going. Okay, well that's me finished for the day. These are the scrap finds that I found. As you can see, there's lots of bits and pieces, typical beach finds. Piece of broken buckle, big piece of molten aluminium. That's sort of an eyelet out of some canvas or a tent or something. Bottle cap edge. This thing that I found in the wet sand, I think that's a split pin. 2 or 3 pull tabs. Huge, don't know what that was off, some sort of bracket. There's a couple of sharp nails and a piece of iron. They were literally just below the surface, and it did give a broken signal. And then there's these little tiny pieces of aluminium, a little bit of a zipper there, a little tiny piece of copper. This is again from the wet sand. Very sensitive little machine. You know, some of these from the wet sand, some of these are from the dry sand. Right, from the dry sand, I also had some spendables. We've got £2, 10, 12, 14, 15, £2.15 The £2 coins were underneath the swings. Don't think they've been there long. The others are starting to corrode. 10p actually looks like a 2p. So, you know, it's not a bad session. Quite pleased with it for this time of year. The beach needs topping up, needs lots of visitors. Really pleased with the Garrett. Did the job. Yes, I dug a lot of aluminium, but you wouldn't reject aluminium. Aluminium's par for the course. So, really pleased with that. And another good session. Okay, see you next time.